Are you scheduled to take a polygraph test? Let me give you something to think about before you take it.
Lie detector tests, or polygraph tests as they're called, they are not admissible. They cannot be used in court.
What's the point of taking one?
Everybody knows what the lie detector or the polygraph is, and it's used extensively by the NSA, the Secret Service, the CIA, the FBI, as well as almost every law enforcement agency in the civilized world.
In California, you can't become a cop without passing a lie detector test. Can't join the FBI or any other federal agencies. It's medical equipment reading your blood, sweat, and breathing. It's 100% accurate as far as that goes. Usually our calls are held to be about 95% accurate.
Did you help Kim release her sex tape?
No.
True. Of course it's true! Of course it's true! All right.
We see so-called lie detector tests all the time in popular culture, on talk shows, and in law enforcement, and they're generally depicted as being a source of objective truth, scientific and accurate.
So this is what Estes is up to.
What's that?
This, you, a polygraph.
Section 17.3 of your employment contract.
Fine.
My name is Doug Williams, and I'm the only licensed polygraph examiner to ever tell the truth about the so-called lie detector. And the truth is, the polygraph is not a lie detector. Truthful people are often branded as liars, and liars often pass easily. As a matter of fact, all the scientific evidence proves that the polygraph is no more accurate than the toss of a coin.
Tanya, did you kill your son?
Absolutely not, Steve.
We're gonna find out. The truth's gonna come out.
Prior to his death, did you shake your 4-month-old son? You answered no. Did you cause any of those injuries to your 4-month-old son before his death? You answered no. The results came back all the same to each question, and it came back that Tanya told the truth.
30-year-old Anka Pennington from Omaha, Nebraska, purchased 3 bottles of Tylenol. She then proceeded to a restroom stall, swallowed all of the pills, and lay down to die. Earlier that day, Pennington, a single mother of 4, had appeared on the set of The Steve Wilkos Show, where the host announced she had miserably failed a polygraph test regarding whether or not she had burned her infant daughter with cigarettes. Pennington stated she had never questioned polygraph tests. Afraid no one would believe her and that she would lose her children, she made the decision to end her life. Thankfully, the love for her children compelled her to call an ambulance, and her life was saved.
To come on that stage and be blindsided, do you see? My spirit broke. To try to say you're gonna take my kids, what else did I have to live for? I'm stronger than I've ever been. I don't care if you judge me, but God forbid you had to live through what I lived through.
An episode of The Jeremy Kyle Show has been taken off the air at the last minute after a guest died shortly after appearing on the show.
A man whose death led to ITV's Jeremy Kyle Show being taken off air has been named in newspapers as 63-year-old Steve Diamond.
There is gathering evidence that the failing of this lie detector test on the episode that was never actually aired was an exceptionally devastating event for Steve Diamond.
It was a hit show, but its makers today faced a grilling for their methods and their morals.
We'd like to start with reference to the use of the lie detector test, which I think has been a key feature in the programme.
Since November 2015, when you moved house, have you passionately kissed anyone other than you said no? Tess says you're a liar.
Since the start of 2015, when you moved into your house, have you had sexual contact with anyone other than you said no? This test says you lied on that question. Can you just calm him down? She lied on every single question, including sexual. Why'd you fail the test then?
I haven't done anything wrong.
Tom McClellan, you're executive producer of the programme. How accurate do you think the polygraph test is?
We know they aren't 100%.
I have been telling people for so long that they were 97% accurate.
Sometimes you just kind of made up whatever it was off the top of your head, like you just go 86%, no, it's like 90% or whatever.
Professor Ray Bull of Derby University said he believed even in sort of perfect conditions with a trained expert using the machine, that the test was at best a 66 to 70% chance of an accurate score.
As a matter of fact, all the scientific evidence proves that the polygraph is no more accurate than the toss of a coin. In other words, if you go in and take a polygraph test and tell the complete truth, you will still fail over 50% of the time. Even the U.S. Supreme Court has said that because of this, the results cannot be admitted into evidence.
Do you not know what the range is? You don't have that information in your head?
I don't have the information in front of me now.
I find that astonishing, actually, because this is, become one of the most criticised elements of the show, one of the most controversial, one of the things that causes the most amount of stress. It's presented as fact.
The lie detector test is a toss of a coin, but people can have their lives trashed as a consequence of that.
Tash was the producer in charge of the team who actually made the Steve Diamond episode.
Tash was just left with a guilty conscience when she'd already been through so much.
That's why I call a polygraph examination nothing but a sick joke. But the trick is to make sure the joke's not on you. For the past 35 years, I have dedicated my life to exposing the waste, fraud, and abuse in the polygraph industry. And as a reward, the government is now trying to imprison me for upwards of 100 years and fine me $1.5 million.
Have you lied to me on
Doug Williams, a former police sergeant and polygrapher, has performed more than 6,000 tests. He showed us what the machine does. He knows as much about lie detector tests as anyone. And he says they don't work.
I can watch you breathe, I can watch 2 fingers sweat, and I can watch your heartbeat. How can I presume to say that I can tell whether you've lied?
Please answer yes to both questions. Are you Detective Jack Cole?
Yes.
Have you ever climbed Mount Everest?
Yes. Well?
I've never seen anything like this. Everything reads true.
Can someone learn to beat this thing?
It's possible, but you'd have to have total control over your emotions. I don't know anybody who could pull that off.
So the bad news is the polygraph doesn't work and you'll probably fail even if you go in and tell the complete truth. But here's the good news. I can teach you how to pass, nervous or not, no matter what.
If the polygraph really works, what are they so afraid of? Why are they so frightened of me explaining to people how it works? And if I can teach a person how to control every tracing on the polygraph chart and to produce a perfect, truthful polygraph chart, regardless of whether or not they're lying or whether they're telling the truth, then that's prima facie evidence that the polygraph is absolutely worthless as a lie detector. How dare you file federal criminal charges against me for protesting the use of this polygraph and demonstrating what a ridiculous instrument it is. The devil hates to be mocked, and I'm mocking them every chance I get, exposing them for frauds, con men, and manipulative bastards.
A manhunt is underway in Southern California. A fugitive ex-cop, 33-year-old Christopher Jordan Dorner, suspected of killing 3 people in a terrifying rampage.
Police officers hunting one of their own, a rogue former officer now accused of hunting them.
It is a nightmare most women cannot imagine. A man sneaking into a woman's home in the dark of night.
A Bloomington police officer, Sergeant Jeffrey Pilo. Pilo was not just an ordinary cop, a 17-year veteran of the Bloomington Police, a former Policeman of the Year.
In June 2008, a jury convicted Jeffrey Palo of 35 counts that included 26 counts of aggravated sexual assault. A judge sentenced him to 440 years in prison in August that same year.
She was a 26-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department, by all appearances a model cop. Yet Stephanie Lazarus now faces murder charges. Prosecutors say that almost 25 years ago, she beat and shot the wife of an ex-boyfriend, and that DNA evidence proves it. David Wright reports.
Follow me along this train of logic here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe liars or maybe people with maybe a mental illness, maybe psychopaths who are don't quite have the ethics can lie more easily, are able to beat a polygraph more easily. These governments that are using the polygraph are more likely to allow psychopaths and people who are mentally ill into these roles.
That's exactly right. It actually has a built-in bias against the truthful person. The more your sense of right and wrong, the more likely you are to fail a polygraph examination, and the more of an old thief and a liar and a con man you are, and the more hardened your conscience, the better your chances of passing it.
Of course, you could argue that from the perspective of police departments or the NSA or the CIA, they don't really care if lie detector tests work or not, as long as they can bully people into confessing.
Listen, I don't know anything about polygraphs, I don't know how accurate they are, but I know they'll scare them.
I need you to put your arms straight up in the air for me.
Okay. Will a lie detector destroy my relationship with my girlfriend? I got a real lie detector to answer this question.
Would you let someone suck your toes?
Yeah, and have. True. Thank you, John. It was John.
If my daughter tells the truth to 5 questions using a lie detector test, she gets $100. Do you ever cheat on tests at school?
Yeah. True.
Our calls are held to be about 95% accurate.
The media has pushed the infallibility of the lie detector so hard that now everyone believes in it, even though it just straight up doesn't work.
And the government does not like to give up things that they use to keep people in line.
Government agencies test over 70,000 people a year with this century-old piece of pseudoscience.
Listen, Conover, you want to know the truth? What's the point of taking one?
The demonization of of poor, that they have no valid voice. You know, it's only what the machine tells you that it's important.
We know it doesn't work. We just use it to trick gullible criminals who think it works into giving confessions. Are you happy now?